Hello, amazing people, and happy Wednesday. I'm excited. Tomorrow is September 1st. I'm excited. September, October, November, December. Like I just plan on, going out of 2022 with a bang. That's what I plan on doing. Let me turn these notifications off because baby, this phone will blow up. You hear me? Phone will blow straight on up. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Like I love y'all so much. I appreciate y'all supporting me, and I try to give back to as many people as I can. But I'm telling you, my messenger be giving me anxiety sometimes. Like for real. Like I be like, oh my goodness. I think I read some messages from 2020. Yeah, I sure did. Happy Wednesday, Andre. Hey, Craig, how y'all feeling today? I appreciate everybody that checked on me yesterday. I wasn't, but you know what? Let me tell y'all something. I wasn't mad, like I wasn't upset or nothing. I really wasn't. It's just that sometimes you have to defend your own self. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all ain't gonna keep sitting in these comments, sitting up trying to call me fat. I could sit up here and be like, I just feel like, no, I could come on here and I could say, black men, has a black woman ever asked you how you want to be loved? And they'll be like, oh, you're fat and ugly. And well, what is cool? What? I'm fat and ugly because I asked black men if they were ever asked how they want to be loved. I'm fat and ugly. Who knew? Who knew, baby? Who knew? But I was going to make a vlog. I haven't really made like a vlog in a long time. I used to do that though, yo. Like when I first started my platform, I used to pre-record my videos. It would take me a little while to get the video right, but then I would, edit it, upload it. I don't do that no more. I just do like a lot of raw content. Well, I do pre-record minute videos where I had to like master that. Because if you've been following me for a long time, you know that I can talk for like 3 to 5 minutes, okay, in a video. Sure can. But it's like once things change in TikTok and you had 1 minute to say what you had to say, baby, I was practicing. I said, I'm going to get everything out I got to say in this 1 minute, and then they went to 3 minutes. But it was, it's life is confusing, right? It's confusing because we have this comedian that came on here and people felt like, oh, he's body shaming Lizzo and he don't got no room to body shame Lizzo. Look at him. And a lot of women were just coming to bat for her, like, it's disgusting to body shame this and a third. But then you get a person like me, and you come and you body shame me. It's confusing. It doesn't make any sense. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Body shaming is body shaming. I don't, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, the only time that I even go left with somebody is when they go left with me. You see what I'm saying? I come on here, I say exactly what I have to say, and they automatically get mad and attack me physically. You're fat, you're ugly, you're a pick me. What does that have to do with the content? And this is where I'm seeing it's not making sense to me. You see what I'm saying? But I'm starting to realize, I'm starting to learn that that's the only defense that some people have towards the information. They know that what I'm talking about is real life and it's true. So all they can come back and say is you're fat and you're ugly and you're a pick me. You have nothing to say towards the content I just said because it resonated with people. Um, a lot of people, inbox me, about that. I'm comfortable in the skin I'm in. I've been called a fat pig before. You see what I'm saying? By family. I've been my weight has been a target for a long time. That doesn't bother me anymore, to be honest. It just doesn't bother me. I don't care. I know who I am. I know I'm a beautiful person, inside and out. I ain't got to explain nothing, to anybody. I didn't come and say, oh, you look like this or you look like that, or I didn't do that. I just came in and, talked about something that's going on in the Black community that we don't talk about. And a lot of women's defense is, Shalakimi, you're fat. You're a pick me. You empower these men because you need them to want you, or you need what? Baby, I ain't never had no problem getting on me. Never. Never. But then, when you take a conversation to that point, then I got to come and I got to say, grow your own hair, baby. Then I got to come and say, how dare you come on here and try to talk about Black men and what they don't have and how they lack, and you can't grow your own hair, baby. I want a lot of women to take the makeup off and take the weaves out and then address Black men. Then come on here and say what you got to say. Because baby, a lot of them look like Black men. A lot of them don't look appealing at all. And then when I go like that, then when I go left with them, then they want to, oh, she's bashing me, and she, no, baby, I just on the same playing field you playing on. But let's talk about it though. Come on, let's talk about it. Come in your natural states and try to bash Black men. You can't do that though. You can't do that. You got to get up every day. You got the cake makeup on your face. I'm gonna take these off because, and I came in my natural state for a reason. This is my natural state. I came in my natural state for a reason. This is me. I got up, got myself together. I didn't do anything. This is it. This is my natural state. This is natural state. This is Shalakemia natural. Okay. It's like you can't come to this platform done all that. But I'm not saying that's wrong with wigs and weaves, because people that are sick, need to wear wigs and weaves and things like that. But I'm talking about the ones that ain't sick. I'm talking about the ones that come on here and got so much to say about somebody else, but baby, you can't even grow your own hair. Okay, you look like a man when you before you put that wig on and that makeup. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, how dare you? That's how I be feeling. Like, how dare you even? How dare you? You should be the main one trying to humble yourself. Listen, we're not, I'm not going to come and play. I'm just not. If I come, I didn't attack anybody's appearance in my content. I didn't. All I'm saying is about our behavior, how we act towards each other, how we act towards Black men, how we act towards Black children. That's all I'm talking about. You took it to my appearance, so I'm gonna bring it to your appearance. Take the wig off. Take the lace front off. Let's see you in your natural hair. Let's see you in your natural state. Let's see your body before you got surgery. Come on. I can't have a real conversation. Don't come for me and then back down. Don't come for me and then, oh well, mm-mm. Mm-mm, baby, you started it. You started it, and I'm gonna finish it. One thing that bothers me though, the one thing that bothers me though, yesterday when I posted that, Black women are so determined, so determined to bash Black men that they don't hold each other accountable. That's not that's not a good mindset. Cause I'm gonna tell you what's happening, right? Because I'm coming to say that Black women's empowerment is fake. Do I need to repeat it? It's fake. We're gonna be real. Black women's empowerment only kicks into gear when they about to bash a Black man, or they about to hate on them. That's the only time. Let's be real. Cause baby, when Black women are by themselves, when they by themselves, what I tell y'all the other week, Black women is sitting up talking about we ain't going to Black women's empowerment events no more. Guess why they ain't going to Black women's empowerment events? Something that ain't got nothing to do with a Black man, because other Black women are nasty, baby. They are nasty. They get to these events that, baby, the person that threw the event talk about you. Did you hear what I said? The woman that threw the event will talk about the people that's in attendance, the people that bought a ticket to come to the event. Oh, they're fat, they're ugly, oh, they're dark skinned. Oh, look at what she got on. Oh my goodness. No, she didn't come with them little kitten heels on it. Baby, it goes down. And a lot of women are speaking out saying we're not going to Black women's empowerment events no more. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Please stop. I just want the fakeness to stop. That's all I want to stop. Stop the fakeness. Because at the end of the day, we can't even be amongst each other. We don't even be liking each other. That backstabbing, all that toxic energy that be coming from Black women. The only time they want to get together and bash is when they want to bash a Black man because that's the only thing they have in common. That's the only thing. Oh, we both women, we on the same side, we both hate men, we gonna bash them together, right? Nah, that's not even healthy. Y'all can't even get along amongst each other. But I'm gonna tell you what it does. When Black women sit up here and try to act like they just so for the sisterhood and they so for the empowerment, which is a lie. Which is a lie, baby. Because they gonna be the first one sitting on the phone gossiping about somebody, sitting at an event gossiping about spreading somebody's business, all that good stuff. Get mad at another Black woman that she was friends with and call children and youth and lie on her. Call her rental office and tell the rental office she got a man living with her. Call the welfare office and say, oh, she's working. That's what Black women be doing. I've had to talk a few out of doing things like that. Sure did. Sure did. But won't call children and youth on the Black women that need children youth called on them down. They won't do that. They won't call children and youth when the kids is left in the house by themselves. They won't do that. I wonder why. I wonder why. Supporting toxic behavior and toxic mindsets. See, what Black women don't understand what they're doing is they're sitting up and telling other Black women it's okay to be toxic. It's okay to be negative, you know, and it's affecting Black women. It's affecting Black women. You see what I'm saying? Because let's be real, Black men they're getting their passports, baby. They're dating outside their race because they're not about to tolerate that, and I'm not mad at them for that. Do I feel like that Black women should be with Black men and Black men should be with Black women? Absolutely. Absolutely. But at the end of the day, the way that majority of Black women is running around here acting, I don't blame Black men. I don't blame them. I'm sorry. I do not blame them. They should not have to sit up and put up with an attitude. They should not have to sit up and be bashed. They should not have to be belittled. They should not have to sit up and be told who they used to be, what their downfalls are. That's just not how you handle somebody you're in a relationship with. I'm sorry. They shouldn't have to tolerate that. Just like Black women sit up here and try to tell the Black women, oh, you shouldn't have to deal with that out of a man. Men don't have to deal with it either. But I'm gonna tell you how it is affecting Black women. Okay. When Black women don't hold Black women accountable, because listen, if Black women was accountable, baby, it'll change the world. I promise you. It'll change the world if they knew how to be accountable. It's not hard. And how to take responsibility. It's not hard. It's not hard at all. I promise you. It's simple. I don't know. Do y'all think y'all gonna melt or die, or what y'all think will happen if you take accountability? But I'm gonna tell you what's happening now. What's happening is because I feel like us Black women should hold other Black women accountable. We should be able to do that in love. I should be able to tell somebody, and somebody should be able to tell me about myself, because I don't see everything about myself. You see what I'm saying? I don't see even my man should be able to tell me about myself. Even the men around me should be able to tell me I don't see everything about me, baby. None of us do. Some of the things we do, we feel like it's just normal because we've been doing them. No, everything we do is not normal. That's not normal. Bashing men in other cultures is not normal. You don't see them doing it. I've never heard a Chinese woman say that men are nothing. I've never heard it. I've never heard it. I just never heard it. I'm sorry. I'm sure other cultures I never heard it either. Even Latinos, I've never heard it. Maybe somebody else has. I never heard that promoted in their community. I just don't. I never heard it. But I'm gonna tell you what the no accountability amongst Black women is doing, right? What it's doing is it has a part of trauma and hurt in the dark, right? So why society is out here trying to promote that Black men are deadbeat dads, that Black men are just cheaters and liars and they're just monsters out here and don't trust them and this, that, and the third. But I be confused about that part because domestic violence rates are higher in the gay community amongst gay women than it is with a man and a woman relationship. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that in another live, right? But yeah, but the problem is with no accountability and trying to always highlight. Like I put out my video the other day. Y'all might not have seen it. They're oppressing Facebook, but I put a video out there saying, why do women always come to the table and talk about how Black men unalive Black women? Why is that the only thing the only defense? That's the only defense they gave. They say in my comments all the time. I have no choice but to keep saying it all the time. Black men are unaliving Black women at a high rate, and you sitting up here taking up for them and da da da. First of all, calm down on my platform. Calm down before I block you. First of all. Second of all, why is that the only thing we talking about? When Black women are unaliving Black men too. When Black women are unaliving Black children. What are we talking about? They only share the Black man unaliving Black women and Black children. I've came across 5 articles. Black woman unaliving her children. Black woman cries domestic violence, kills her boyfriend. But hold up, there's a twist. She bailed him out. She bailed him out and killed him. Then helped his family look for him. What? They're not talking about those kind of things. They're not promoting it. It's not going viral. Y'all probably don't know about a lot of it unless I post it, because at the end of the day, the focus has to stay on the Black man and how the Black man is toxic, how he's negative, how he's a monster. It's the agenda. They have to. They're determined to keep the Black man in a bad light. So we're not really going to hear much about the other stuff because that's not the agenda. The agenda isn't, oh, we're going to highlight, what Black women are doing to children. How Black, you don't be hearing, oh, Black, I remember the Black woman that killed her husband, and everybody in the comments, I was invested in it. Everybody in the comments was talking about, oh, they were saying, they said he was paralyzed, or he was disabled. He was disabled. And women was like, you know what? They say she stabbed him 20 or 40 times. And women in the comments were talking about, it's hard to take care of somebody. Bit what? So because it's hard to care for somebody, you stab them that many times? But do y'all see where I'm going with this? And the Black women watching me, you have sons, you have nephews, you have brothers. Could you imagine getting a call knowing that your son, your nephew, your brother, your cousin, your father is disabled? And this woman stabbed him all these times, and people on social media are making excuses for her. Oh, it's hard caring for somebody that's disabled. Oh, I wonder what he did to her. But if a man would have stabbed the woman, that wouldn't have been the energy. That wouldn't have been the energy at all. So I was invested because I'm not. That's not how my brain works. So I'm sitting up there. I'm like, well, what? The man was disabled. I need to know in what form was he disabled. So I did some research. The man was paralyzed. The man was paralyzed. The man was making arrangements to get away from her. He filed for divorce a couple weeks before that. The man was very, very well off. Very well off. He was tired of the bad treatment. She killed him. The story came out. People had nothing to say, but automatically made it his fault. Made it this, and it was disheartening because I had spoke to a family member of his, and they were broken because they were thinking about him being stabbed all these times, and they were thinking about they were thinking about and they were hurt about that he couldn't even defend himself. So that told me at what rate he was disabled or he was paralyzed. They said that he couldn't even defend himself. It's a shame. She's been a monster for him for a long time. He was trying to get away from her. Even the news said, even his lawyer was like, he filed for divorce. He was getting away from her. The energy don't be the same. And for the women that sit up here and think I want to be a part of this sisterhood, it's not a sisterhood. Negativity is not a sisterhood. Toxic is not a sisterhood. Like, why bond over negativity? That doesn't even make sense. I want to bond with another woman over some positive things. You see what I'm saying? Like, why are we bonding over toxic stuff? Don't got nothing else in common. Don't even like each other for real. But we gonna bond because we both hate black men. We want what? Then get to know each other and don't even like each other. Y'all heard what I said. I've seen it happen so many times. People sitting up bonding because they both got the same baby's dad. They both hate him. So they come together, try to get a plan to take him down. They ruin his life. Ain't nothing else to do. Ain't nothing else to do. Y'all done sat up and ruined his life. Now they don't even like each other. They never liked each other. They just bonded because they had the same baby's dad. They both hated him. So then they'll get together and terrorize the new girlfriend. But then after they done that, it's like they get to know each other on another level. Don't even like each other. Ain't even cool no more. Don't even talk no more. Come on, we gonna talk about it. But I'm gonna tell you the most hurtful thing outside of just bashing the men in our culture. Because women aren't holding other women accountable, other women and children are suffering. And I'm talking about the women that have grew up with a jealous and abusive mother. The men that have grew up with a jealous and abusive mother. I'm talking about the abusive mother that did not like your father. So she talked about him every chance she got. She tried to convince you not to love him, try to convince you not to like him. Listen, I came to talk about it. It's too many women. It's too many women that are reaching out. And this is their issue. Because you know why? They have other black women telling them when a woman even tries to come and voice that how toxic their mother was, how negative she was, how she abused her. Do you know what women will tell that young woman? You only get one mom. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Your mom calling you every name in the book because you love your father. Can you imagine a mother being jealous of her daughter and the lengths that she go to? Baby, listen, women have sat out here and sold their daughters and let grown men have sex with them. Y'all telling these young girls you only get one mom, but let her come and talk about her dad. Y'all gonna sit up and talk about her dad with her. You gonna talk about how horrible of a man he was. He did this, he did that. But when she comes with trauma about her mother, you tell her you only have one mother. There's so many women suffering right now because there's no accountability amongst black women. So many women suffering right now because people don't want to hear that black women are toxic, negative, abusive. They don't want to hear it. Do you know so many moms out here that need child services called on them and nobody calls? Nobody calls. Nobody calls. So nobody's being a voice for those children. Nobody. Just sitting by complaining about how the child's treated, but nobody's calling children's services. Kids left in the house by themselves. Why moms go to the club and party and nobody's saying nothing. They just talking amongst themselves. Oh, she left her kids in the house by themselves last night, but nobody called the police. Nobody called child services. Nobody. Why? Anything could have happened to those children. I've had to tell people so many times that the fact that that children are being abused and mishandled, and you ain't said nothing, you a part of the problem. You a part of the problem. And a big part of the problem is no accountability amongst Black women. None. Nobody's holding Black women accountable. You don't hear you hear sometimes women talking about how their mom was jealous, how their mom sat up and put a man before them, how a mom sat up with too many young girls and sat up and told their mom that their boyfriend touched them, and the mom didn't believe them. The mom didn't believe them. That toxic mom, that piece of shit mom, didn't believe them. So you continue to allow your child to be molested by the man you was in a relationship with. Cause what, you was in love? Ain't no love in the world, baby. Ain't that much love in the world. But guess what? We ain't talking about this type of stuff. We ain't talking about the hurt and the pain these young girls is going through. Some of these young girls are sitting up thanking me for my platform. Cause they done told family what was going on and family did not believe them. Family brushed it off. Why should they be abused? Why should children be abused and neglected because they love their father and the mother hates them? Why? Why don't we talk about that? I'm just saying. Why don't we why aren't we sitting up holding other women accountable about bringing all these different men in their household around their kids and giving all these men access to your kids? And then when your kids come out and tell somebody they was molested, you want to sit up there, you want to act retarded. Your child been told you they was molested. They've been told you what your man was doing. Don't sit up here because don't be sitting up here trying to front for everybody so you don't look bad because you allowed that predator to stay in the house. Like I've said before, women will sit up here and not let the father be a part of the child's life and keep the father's family out of the child's life, but you will give a man access to your children. Different men at that. Because, baby, some of these women got men running in and out their house. And I don't understand how when you have children. How? How is children being molested by their mom boyfriend and the mom and some mom sitting up like, oh, I didn't know. How didn't you know? How didn't you know? For a whole year, all these 5 years, 10 years, you didn't know that your child was being molested. So you sitting up here telling me you don't have a relationship with your child, that your child could come and tell you something. No, you know why kids? Because they told me why they don't tell their parents, because their parents don't believe them. And they have no access to the father to tell the father that they being molested or they being abused. How do children are supposed to be protected. How do a child not feel comfortable going to their mom and saying that this man is having sex with me? Why do some women even feel comfortable leaving their kids with a man that you just met and you don't even know nothing about him? How you feel comfortable leaving the bar with a man and taking him home and claiming him as your man and you don't know nothing about him? You ain't looked him up on the Maker's Law. You ain't did nothing. These are the conversations they don't want to have because they make them look bad. Let's not just come and talk about how Black men is deadbeat dads. Let's talk about the deadbeat moms. These kids got so much trauma y'all don't even know about. Little boys' innocence taken by their mom boyfriend. They don't have no contact with the dad, so they can't tell the dad or the dad's family. But 9 times out of 10, when they get in touch with somebody from the dad's family, they tell. They tell. I'm just saying, no accountability. And these are the things that's happening at the hands of Black women, though. These are the things that's happening that don't get talked about. These young girls and a few young men that reached out to me are hurting. They hurting. This is a trauma they can't even shake. First of all, nobody should have violated them. Nobody should have touched them. But on top of that, you couldn't even tell your mom. You couldn't even tell your mom. Because your mom was in love with the predator. I'm just saying. Why's the focus always on black men? Why is it always on black men? And what they do wrong? And baby, these kids are suffering. No accountability is the reason why. I stopped being friends with somebody that sat up and told me they knew their nephew was being raped, molested. I said, why didn't you say nothing? What is we talking about? Oh, I didn't want my sister to be mad at me. What? Excuse you? You didn't want your sister to be mad at you? I'm not surprised though, y'all. A lot of people do that. When it comes to baby, these kids ain't being taken care of. These kids ain't going to school. Y'all heard what I said? These kids ain't going to school. These kids are going to school dirty, being bullied. I asked her why didn't you speak up? Because I didn't want my sister to be mad. Do you know that's what a lot of people are? People have a fear of people being mad at them. Or I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. We don't ever have to speak ever again in life. I don't care. I'm going to protect that child. I'm going to protect that child. These children need voices. These children need voices. Ain't no way. Ain't no way anybody can sit up and see a kid being abused, mistreated, and neglected, and you ain't spoke up and said nothing. If you ain't spoke up and said nothing, you a part of the problem. You a part of the problem. Then something bad happened and people sitting around like, oh, I should have said something because I knew. Why didn't you? These kids need a voice. This abuse is happening and ain't nobody talking about it. Ain't nobody bringing no awareness to it. None. But the no accountability has to stop. Or something's going to happen to somebody and it's going to be on a person's conscience. My heart hurts for these young men and women that have been abused. The abuse that's silent. What goes on in my house stays in my house. People don't want to look bad. But then these young people gotta suffer in silence. That's what no accountability is getting us amongst black women. It puts a silence on that type of abuse. For what? For what? Nobody deserves that. Nobody deserves to be abused because they love their father. Nobody deserves to be neglected because they love their father. That's why fathers, y'all got to start stepping up to the plate. Y'all got to start doing what y'all got to do. If children are really being abused, you have all right to call child services. You have all rights. Too many children have died because people knew they were being abused and said nothing. People knew kids were being starved and said nothing. Nothing. It's like if you I don't encourage people to use those type of systems to get back at people because you're mad. I encourage people to use those type of systems to be a voice for a child, to be a voice for someone. How could we ever expect children to live with their abusers? How? Why do you think when mom doesn't want to talk about the situation, she can't accept that as family? Right. Especially when it's family, especially when it's that dirty uncle or that brother or that cousin. Who in their right mind would sit up and try to hide something like that? Or it's so sad. It's so sad in our community. People worry about the wrong stuff. They worry about their image. You worry about how somebody gonna look at you, how your family gonna look, upholding an image at the sake of the innocence of a child. It I don't understand some people's mindset. Ain't no way. Like I said, I don't encourage people to use those systems in the wrong way against people because you mad. Because I know people try to do that. It's wrong. But I do encourage people to use them to be a voice. There's a child out here tired of being molested at night. They tired of their mom boyfriend coming in their room at night. It's a little boy that's tired of their aunt sitting up and making them perform sexual acts on them. When I heard that, it blew my mind. It blew my mind when I heard some of the traumas from black men. Some people know it ain't saying nothing. Why aren't people saying nothing to the mom? Why aren't people sitting up? Why can't it's so easy for people to tell black men all this stuff? Why aren't you telling women stop taking men home from the bar and you got kids? Stop jumping man to man and letting them move in with you and you got kids. Why nobody saying that? People want to sit on this internet and celebrities and everything. Oh, Nick Cannon got 10 kids and he need to stop. But y'all ain't told your girlfriend that got 8, 9, and 10 kids that's dependent on the welfare system. Y'all ain't told her to stop having kids yet. Y'all keep showing up to her baby showers. What we talking about? Y'all keep showing up to her baby showers. Y'all keep bragging how many food stamps she get. But y'all want to sit up on the internet and talk about this man that can clearly take care of his children. Oh, he can't see all of them children and spend. Why is that your focus? Why is that your focus? Some of these women they need to focus on growing their real hair. I'm sorry. Focus on growing your real hair. Y'all worried about the wrong stuff. Y'all got friends sitting up here sitting on the welfare system. Will all these kids keep popping kids out, baby? They don't say a word about that. Do y'all hear them saying a word about that? They don't say a word about that. No accountability. No accountability. They don't have the same energy for black women like they have for black men. No accountability. Don't nobody know if Nick Cannon spends time with his kids or not. Nobody knows that. I'm sure he does. Nobody knows that. But then, you got black women sitting up here, kids going to school dirty. They selling the food stamps, going to get an outfit, going out. Look, ain't nobody said nothing though. Y'all still go out with her though. Y'all still go out with her though. No accountability. Y'all still sit up and go out with her. These women sit up, put their kids asleep, and go to the bar. Baby, y'all women sit up and go out with them though. Y'all go out with them though. You ain't never said it. Well, no, I'm not going out with. I'm not. If you don't got no babysitter, we can go out another time. Anything can happen to those kids in the house. Anything can happen. Y'all still go out with them though. Y'all got so much mouth when it come to black men, but you ain't got no mouth when it come to black women and all the negative and toxic stuff that's going on. No mouth. Where's the voice at? Where's the voice at? I'm just saying. Don't never want to have a conversation about that. Never. Never. Thank you, Ricky, so much. Thank you. Happens more often than people admit. Most black boys first encounter with an older woman. Yes, they do. And people see no problem with it. There is a problem. There's a problem there. Why would a grown woman want to sleep with a child anyway? Like what's wrong? What's wrong? Something is wrong. Ain't no way you desire a child. Ain't no way. But them grown women, they be so played out in their era, baby. They be so played out amongst the men their age. Let's talk about it. They be so played out. They go and try to manipulate a young boy. And then some sitting up here molesting underage boys. They don't talk about that. They always talk about men sitting up here dating younger women. No, talk about them women dating younger men. And on the social media, talk about it, baby. They don't have no. It was a video that just went viral that a black woman was like, "Oh yeah, I want to date an 18-year-old. Why do you at 40 and 50 years old want to date an 18-year-old boy? So you can control him? Because the men your age, they're not letting you control nothing. So you can control them. That's all it is. Let's be real. Let's have a real conversation about it. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. We got to do better. Don't just sit up here and try to handle men and have them accountable. We all need to be accountable. We all need to be accountable. It's too much disgusting stuff going on in our community. Too much. And people be knowing and don't say nothing. People sit up here, women sit up on the phone and gossip about everything else, baby. Everything else. You gossip and tell everybody's business, but people never tell what needs to be told. That's what happens in our culture all too often. All too often. And it's sad. And it's disheartening and it's sickening. Just know when you don't hold somebody accountable, that you're contributing to what's going on. Just know that. When y'all sit up and y'all know kids are being neglected and they're being abused, you are contributing. You're contributing. Because you ain't speak up. You ain't sitting up being a voice for that child. Kids being left in the house by themselves. Kids not eating. Kids being abused and y'all know about it. You're contributing. You're contributing to it. Let me tell you something. I I remember me and my kids got put out, right? We got put out because I took some kids and that was neglected basically. But I'm gonna tell you how it started. I met a girl, she told me I'm a single mom, I'm struggling, you know what I mean? I'm trying to work this, that, and third. I did, school from home. So I told her, I'll help you out. No problem. Start helping her out watching the kids. So I seen that like sometimes she would come late. This one night she came really, really late. And I'm like, well, she got off work at 6. She came late. She came with a man, right? Excuse me, she was with a man. They were drunk. So I told her, I'm not allowing you to take your kids with you. Y'all been drinking. I'm not allowing those kids to be in that car with y'all. So I kept the kids, overnight. I could tell that, the kids wasn't eating. You know what I mean? One time she just didn't show up no more. So I reached out to the father's family and found out child services has been called so many times. Child services was called by her mother. I'm like, why, if child services was called all these times, why are the children still in her care? I gave the children to the dad's family and the mom, his mom and him. So when the girl finally came back, I told her, yeah, your kids are with their father, you know? She goes to the police and tells the police I gave her kids to a man she did not know. She didn't call my rental officer, told him I had unauthorized people living in my place. She told him my kids were living with her. Okay. Your kids were living with me. Okay. The police officer called me. He said, Miss Moffitt, I'm sure you know why I'm calling you. And I'm like, yeah. He said this woman comes up here. He said it's a bogus story. He said I've looked in the system. Children and youth has been called many times. Police has been called many times. I'm looking at it. He said, but I do, have to call you, get your side of the story what happened. I said, well, I said there was an incident. She came drunk. I said I did not allow the kids to get in that car. I said then she just stopped coming to pick the kids up when she got off work. I didn't see her in days. I said I could no longer get diapers, wipes. I have 2 children of my own. I could no longer afford to, keep the children, with me. So I gave them to the father. He said, well, she said a percent you gave them to a stranger. I said, no. The father. I was introduced to the father. I said I gave him to the father. He said, okay. He said, like, you're not in no trouble or nothing. He said, I have enough evidence, to kind of know that this is something that always goes on with her. He said, I can't share like specifics, but you're not in no trouble. And I felt like I kind of felt like, well, at first I'm like, okay, so I just kind of like, and the people at the rental office didn't believe me. I told them, I'm like, I did not have her kids like living with me on purpose. I said I watched them, and she kind of never ever, came back, but she gave them a bogus story that they listened to or whatever. And that's fine. I'll go. I'm not about to sit up here and argue about, staying somewhere. I know I did the right thing. I know I did the right thing by those children. You see what I'm saying? Um, giving them, to the dad, trying to take care of them as long as I could have done that. You see what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like the way my brain thinks is that when she came drunk, I'm thinking in my brain an accident could happen. They were both intoxicated. That's how my brain thinks. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna let these kids go. I'm not going to put them in that kind of danger. You see what I'm saying? Like that was like my mindset. But it's like I have to get these kids to somebody that can care for them. I have to find somebody because there's no way that for days you don't come back for your children. There's no way. There's no way at all. There's no way. How? How do you do that? But those are the things that we don't talk about. We don't speak up about. Children's services did, get involved. And I told them like I'll help however, I can help. I want those kids safe. They're great kids. They were little too. They were like 4 or 5, and then a baby. The baby was maybe 1. I said, my thing is the best interest and the safety of these kids. That's it. I love kids though, but I always want them to be safe. And I just always want them to be protected because that's what we are supposed to do. I'm gonna tell you one thing. My phone's gonna die, but I'm gonna tell you one thing. God did not God did not put a situation in your face about some type of abuse or something going on for you not to speak up about it. That's the problem. People are not speaking up. Why do you think you were made aware? Yes, I'm talking to you. Why do you feel like you were made aware? Sometimes you got to reach out to the dad's family. Sometimes you got to reach out to the mom's family. Somebody that's going to listen. Find somebody that's going to listen and tell them what's going on and be a voice for those children. They know accountability is not working for us. Us not sitting up and holding the other Black women accountable is hurting children. It's hurting us Black women. It's hurting Black men. It's hurting the whole culture for real, for real. If you want to be real, the no accountability is hurting bad. It's a lot of people hurting because no accountability amongst Black women, Black mothers, no accountability. People out here really suffering and going through some things because somebody told them you only get one mom. Don't talk about your mom. Don't ever tell nobody that. Listen to the stories of people that tell you that they told their mother that they was molested or raped by a family member and by their boyfriend. And how many of those young children will sit up and say, my mom didn't believe me. That's the most hurt. On top of the trauma, on top of you being molested as a child, you got to deal with that trauma, but you also got to deal with the fact that your mom didn't believe you. So if my mom don't believe me, ain't nobody else gonna believe me. I thank y'all for tuning in with me today.